How would you handle if you went through the same situation and you had the same challenge? Abraham, at 75 years old, was told by God, please pack your bags, go on the road, go to the city of Canaan, and I will take care of you there. You'll have all the blessings. Canaan was the land of Israel. Comes to the land of Israel, and we spoke about it in the previous weeks. He comes to the land of Israel expecting everything to be great, but no, there was a hunger. He had to go down to Egypt because there he went to Egypt. His wife was taken away, and eventually became wealthy. And then God promised him that from him, the Jewish nation is going to become the future of our people. He didn't have children. He had to wait many years, and finally had a child of Isaac. And you can imagine at this point all the trials and tribulations of his life and how difficult his life was. But now finally he had his son Isaac. He was already 137 years old. He could look back and enjoy life. He could get an apartment on Miami Beach overlooking the water. He accomplished a lot of great things in his life, although he had challenges, but now he can enjoy life. But then he got a curveball in life. God comes to Abraham and tells Abraham, now I want you to take Isaac and I want you to bring him as a sacrifice. What would you expect his reaction to be? What, God? Is everything okay? I'll finally be able to relax in life. You're telling me to take my son, who's supposed to be my future, the future of the people, and you ask him to bring as a sacrifice? Come on. Why are you doing that to me? Why are you making me go through that? What happened? What happened? Abraham didn't do that. Abraham right away told God, yes. What's going on over here? Why did God tell Abraham to bring Isaac as a sacrifice? He had nothing else to do. Because God wanted Abraham and Isaac to have the courage to reinvent themselves. Let's take a moment and talk about it in our own lives. Imagine we think about our life. We went through life. No one has most people have certain challenges, ups and downs in lives. But finally, you reach a point in your life, you went through your challenges, but now everything is great. Life is going great. Your marriage is okay. Your children, the businesses, you're feeling good. And you dealt with all the challenges of your life. And then it seems like everything is in place and you have all the nachas. And then as everything seems to be coming together, life sometimes throws you a curveball that sweeps you off your legs. A child that you didn't expect, this child, unfortunately, to have an addiction. And one day someone calls you up and tells you got a problem. Or a child has depression. Or you come home one day and your spouse says they want a divorce. Or in your business they say you lost your job. And you're thinking to yourself, this is the last thing that I expected. Why am I going through this thing now? And you all can think of different examples in your own family that everything was going fine and one day you get a curveball in life. You ask God, why? Why do I need to deal with this at this point? This is the last thing I expected. Or now with the coronavirus, so many businesses have been ruined, the lives have been challenged, and people have passed away. So there comes a moment in your life when you're stripped naked. Your entire vulnerability is exposed. You find yourself weeping like an infant. Whatever crisis that you're going through, and this was the last thing you expected in life. All your previous knowledges, experiences, wisdom, and successes are cast into the dustbin. Futile, meaningless. You feel raw, exposed, shattered. You lay bare. And most of us experience such moments when our entire world, one that we built so constantly and delicately, crumbles before our eyes. We realize that all our predictions were futile. All of our, everything that we said, this is how our life is going to be, was wrong. All of our experiments are disaster. We expected at this point of our life, things will be a certain way. So this is the moment when Abraham truly became a Jew. You know, he is sacrificing his very life to ensure that the Torah remains the Jewish people forever. When do you really learn who we really are? When we have the greatest challenge, and yet we could reinvent ourselves. You know, they say the joke of this wealthy man at a party, and he had a pool in he had a lake, and he had gators there. He said, anyone that jumps into the lake and swims from one side to the other, he'll give them whatever they want. Everyone's quiet. No one wants to jump into the lake with gators there. Finally, one person hears a splash. The wealthy man, he sees this guy swimming quickly to the other side of the lake. He comes out of the lake. He says, tell me, whatever you want, I'm going to give you. He says, listen, I don't want anything from you. The only thing I want to know is who pushed me into the lake. See, in our lives, it is God who pushes us in the pool. God creates challenges for us that may at first seem insurmountable. We find ourselves in situations that seem unimaginable, unfair, and make us wish we could just bury our heads in the sand. But when we are pushed in, forced to step up to the task, so often we find that we are capable of more than we realized. And only then do we see our potential. We are summoned to recreate ourselves. This is what happened with Abraham and Isaac. This is what God wanted for Abraham and Isaac, is they could reinvent themselves to get to places they could never got without it. Don't ever empty the bucket of mystery. Never let people define you, what you do. It's not about zigging when you should zag. It's not about doing something that's unpredictable. It's just about never closing yourself up to the process of transformation, where your eye becomes a complete conduit for the divine eye. Let's look, when life comes and brings us these challenges, it's a moment for us to reinvent ourselves, to shatter all our comfort zones, all of our walls in which we found shelter. Just like Abraham, he did not panic. He did not fall apart. He did not give up. He did not run away. He said, it's time to start all over anew. I know nothing. I made all the wrong assumptions. I will not hold on to anything of my past. I'm ready to begin all over again. There are moments in life when challenges us to reinvent ourselves completely, to shatter all our comfort zones, all our walls in which we found shelter and comfort, all of our paradigms, notions, beliefs, and ideas that carried us. As the tears stream down our bodies, we melt away in the river of pain, only to emerge as completely new human beings, without a trace of arrogance, pompousness, and egotism. And this, my dear friends, when you stay the course with vulnerability, faith, and complete openness, you become a new person. From now on, your love is infinite, your wisdom is infinite, your integrity is infinite, and your dedication is infinite. For you have graduated from the human ego game, and you have transformed yourself into a channel for divine infinity. Let's learn from Abraham and Sarah. Let's climb up our mountain and live up to that challenge. Shabbat Shalom.